They smashed my mailbox 5 times in 6 months. Every time I rebuilt it, they came back with their trucks laughing as if destroying my property was a neighborhood sport. I thought it was just vandals at first, but when the truth came out that it was my own HOA president and her so-called security guard behind it, I realized this wasn't about mail at all. It was about my land, and they were willing to crush me to take it. My name's Bruce Hayes. I live on a small ranch outside Austin, Texas. Nothing fancy. Some chickens, a vegetable garden, a few acres my grandfather left me. That land was my peace after the military, my therapy. I paid my HOA dues, kept my property clean, minded my own damn business. Then, one morning, I walked out to find my mailbox scattered in pieces across the road. The first time I shrugged. Probably kids with a baseball bat, right? Replaced it for $150. Cursed under my breath, moved on. But then it happened again, and again, 3 times in 2 months. Each one cost me more money. Mail order confirmations lost customers, angry, my reputation at the farmer's market slipping. I called the sheriff, insurance, even the postal inspector. Same story everywhere without evidence, nothing we can do. That's when Madison Cross showed up. HOA president, polished SUV, perfect smile. She acted like she cared, said the whole neighborhood was at risk. Property values could drop if random vandalism kept happening. She asked all the right questions when deliveries came my schedule, the timing of each attack. I was so relieved someone was listening that I answered honestly. Biggest mistake I ever made. A week later, she brought in Victor Hale, a muscle-bound guy with a truck that said HOA security on the side. He looked official, carried himself like a cop, asked the same questions Madison had. He promised more patrols, more eyes on my property. I thought finally someone would help me, but then he slipped. He mentioned details of the damage, exactly how the posts were targeted that I had never told anyone. That stuck in my head. Mailbox number 4 got destroyed 2 days after I told Madison about a big seed delivery on Tuesday. Only that delivery wasn't really coming until Thursday. Monday night, the box was demolished. Perfect timing to sabotage something that didn't exist. That's when it hit me, this wasn't random. Someone was using my own words as a playbook to hit me where it hurt. Still, I doubted myself. I'm a veteran, and I've got PTSD. Was I just being paranoid? Maybe I was reading too much into it. But then I said another trap told Madison about a pricey chicken feed delivery for Saturday. Friday night, 2 a.m. I watched Victor's truck crawl up my driveway with the lights off. He got out with a crowbar and destroyed my mailbox piece by piece. That was no random act. That was methodical. And Madison had fed him the intel straight from me. The betrayal cut deep. I wasn't just losing mailboxes anymore. I was losing my mind, my livelihood, my trust. The fines started piling up too. Madison signed violation notices claiming my reinforced mailbox was unsafe and aesthetic non-compliant. $750 here, $500 there. Suddenly, I was thousands in the hole. She even suggested gently, of course, that maybe I should sell. Said she knew buyers who'd pay good money for land like mine. I'll be honest, there was a point I almost broke. Sitting at my kitchen table at 3 a.m, papers scattered everywhere, my girlfriend begging me to let it go. I thought maybe Madison was right. Maybe I should sell, leave this nightmare behind. I started wondering if my PTSD made me unfit for this fight. Was I imagining things? Was I the problem? Then Sam Morgan knocked on my door. Retired county worker neighbor down the road. He'd been watching, and he'd put 2 and 2 together. Over coffee, he showed me records HOA payments to Victor's company way over market rate. Madison signing off expenses without board approval. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "Son, this is a squeeze play. They want your land and they're going to make life hell until you sell cheap." That lit something inside me. I stopped thinking like a victim and started thinking like the soldier I used to be. I'd been trained for intelligence, for laying traps, for gathering evidence under fire. If they wanted war over a mailbox, then I was going to give them one they'd never forget. Mailbox number 5 was my masterpiece. Looked rustic solid, like a stubborn rancher's last stand. But hidden inside was $15,000 worth of military surplus electronics, night vision. Cameras, microphones, motion sensors, GPS trackers, solar power. I even built a system that if struck hard enough would scatter copies of HOA documents. I'd collected violation notices, expense reports, proof of corruption. They thought I was desperate. Really, I was setting a trap. I fed them one last story about a delivery of expensive breeding chickens on Monday. Sunday night, I sat in the dark, watching through night vision goggles. Right on schedule, Victor rolled up with his sledgehammer. Madison's SUV parked behind him, supervising. There was even a third car. They huddled, then Victor strutted toward my mailbox, lifted the hammer, and swung. The clang was music. That hammer bounced off like he'd hit a tank. Floodlights roared to life, blinding him. Hidden compartments popped open, scattering papers across the ground, financial records, violation slips, all with Madison's name. Victor stumbled, Madison screamed, and right then, Sam's truck pulled up, headlights washing over the chaos. "Evening, folks," he called. "Heard some noise. Everything all right?" There stood Victor with a sledgehammer, my mailbox, untouched official documents fluttering in the dirt. Madison tried to spin it, said they were helping me with another vandalism problem. Sam wasn't buying it. He started snapping photos. I walked out in my bathrobe, flashlight in hand, playing the groggy homeowner. "What's going on out here?" I asked. Madison stammered some lie, but the evidence was already all over her shoes. Sam picked up a paper, HOA payments to Victor's company, $800 a month. Another violation, notices with Madison's signature. And the whole time, my surveillance system was uploading video and audio straight to cloud storage. When the deputy sheriff pulled up, the scene spoke for itself. Victor with the weapon. Madison with the paperwork. Me standing there confused, but calm Sam documenting everything. Madison tried to argue, but her panic gave her away. And then came the bomb, my recordings. Weeks of audio from their meetings, phone calls about developers named Lonier, talk of deadlines and property seizures. They weren't just harassing me. They were part of a land grab worth millions, and my ranch was the key parcel. Federal investigators moved fast once they had my file. Madison had been altering county records, creating title disputes, setting neighbors up for forced sales. Victor's security company was just a harassment racket. Lonier Development was funneling money through Madison's real estate business straight into Victor's pocket. Mailboxes were just the beginning. It was an entire scheme to gut our community. The night Madison realized she'd lost is burned in my memory. She sat across my kitchen table, pretending to negotiate a sale, pouring wine, calling me neighbor. I pulled up my laptop, hit play, and let her hear her own voice planning the squeeze. Her face drained of color. "But that mailbox... It was just wood and nails," she whispered. "No, I told her it was the hunter's blind, and you walked straight into it." Within weeks, the FBI raided Lonier's offices. Victor's house, the county courthouse. Charges stacked up: fraud, conspiracy, record tampering, harassment, civil rights violations. Madison went to federal prison. Victor got time too. Lonier's principals were taken down for running what prosecutors called a systematic criminal enterprise. And me, I kept my land. That mailbox still stands. Out front, still recording, still watching, because you never know when another bully might think a veteran is an easy target. Lesson learned: never mistake silence for weakness. Sometimes it's just the sound of someone setting the perfect trap.